Coming down this morning, my goal as the chief of police is to be transparent with the community. And sometimes that transparency puts us in uncomfortable positions, but it's a position that we have to be able to navigate ourselves through. With that being said, on last night around 10:20 p.m., we received a phone call about a motor vehicle accident involving multiple vehicles at Bona Vista and Robinson Road in West Jackson. At that time, JPD responded to the scene. They did a wonderful job working the accident, but as they navigated the scene, it was determined that one of our police officers had an involvement in that particular situation. He was in an off-duty capacity in his personal vehicle, and apparently he was involved in some type of domestic situation with one of the drivers of that accident. She was a female acquaintance of his. And at some particular point in time, it was alleged that his vehicle either sideswiped, rammed, or made some type of contact with her vehicle, which subsequently led to this accident on Robinson Road. The young lady was inside the vehicle. She did sustain some injuries that required her to stay in the hospital overnight. My understanding, she has been released. There were some other individuals in the other vehicle who had nothing to do with this matter. They were injured as well, none life-threatening injuries. We at the Jackson Police Department take domestic violence very seriously, very seriously. Our job is to uphold the law, enforce the law, but we are not above the law. Officer Jaguar Winder has been charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault. He is expected in court this morning on this felony charge, and he will be held accountable for his actions on last night. This is an ongoing investigation. It is not a rush to judgment, but it is our effort to be transparent with the community and let the community know that I am the biggest supporter of our men and women in law enforcement. I commend them, I support them, and I salute them. But we must hold them accountable for their actions. So with that being said, he was arrested on last night. He was questioned on last night. We take no pride in arresting one of our own, but we have to send a message to the community that we are not above the law, and we will hold our officers accountable here in the city of Jackson. Again, it's not a rush to judgment. It is still an ongoing investigation. He will be entitled to his arraignment this morning. I'm not sure whether they're going to have it downstairs or it will be moved to the county due to him being a city employee. But I want to make sure that the community know that we do not take lightly our duty and responsibility to protect our citizens, especially when you're talking about domestic violence. And again, our job is to uphold the law, enforce the law, but we are not above the law. We'll be doing a press release containing the pertinent information in this case, but also his photograph. Again, I want to state this, and I've said it very often since I've become the chief. This is no reflection of the hardworking men and women of JPD. They go out here and do an amazing job every single day. We have committed and dedicated servants in our community, and I'm so proud of the work that they're doing. I'm so proud of the strides that we've made over the past year and a half and that we continue to make in our community. I'm very excited about that. But I want the community to know that we are to be held accountable for our actions. I will hold him accountable, just like the community holds me accountable. I'm open for just a few questions in this matter.
Chief Wade, has this officer had a prior history, any complaints while on duty?
I'm not aware of any disciplinary action issues that he has had. Now, just to put a peg there, he was off duty. He was not in uniform. He was not in his JPD vehicle. He was off duty in his personal vehicle. He was not on the clock. We are not aware of any disciplinary action issues that he has had during my tenure as chief of police. But again, this is not a rush to judgment. I believe in our criminal justice system. but also know that the community holds me accountable. So I must be transparent to the community about what's going on in our police department. And again, I want to say we have some of the best law enforcement officers here in the country working for the Jackson Police Department. I'm very proud of them and the work that they do. We'll be turning the page on this and letting it play out, in the court system. He is going to be placed on administrative leave as soon as he's out of jail. He'll be placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. But we're going to pivot and focus on the Gallion family. We have a balloon release scheduled tonight at Precinct 1 at 6 o'clock to celebrate him, his family, his life, and his legacy. And we'll also be moving toward his celebration of life on Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m.
Chief, how long has this officer been employed by the JP?
He has not been with us very long at all, less than a year. Less than a year. He's not a veteran police officer, about less than a year based on the information that I got this morning.
Chief, what's his relationship with the victim?
She was a female acquaintance of his, and I don't want to, get into the splitting hairs of their relationship. I was told there was his girlfriend. I was told it was a female acquaintance. They had some type of ongoing relationship.
And how do you spell his name, Chief?
We'll have the proper spelling based on what I have is Jaguar, Jaququar, Winder. We'll verify that spelling prior to sending out the press release.
And when the call came through about the accident, did it bring up any red flags about a JP officer being involved with it?
Yeah, he was not on the scene. Of course, we'll be adding some additional charges for leaving the scene. And we do have some blue light surveillance cameras in the area. I'm yet to see that footage. And this is a fluid investigation. This is something that started last night, but based on a very thorough investigation by the officers on scene, based on a very thorough investigation by the other sergeant who was on the scene, a sergeant from Precinct 2 that I talked to directly last night. She did an amazing, wonderful job of investigating the scene, getting information, and connecting the dots. Then once we discovered his involvement, that's when we reached out to our other law enforcement partners, and we discovered where he was, and we brought him into custody, brought him in for questioning. Then he was subsequently charged.
Chief, this is another question. You got some new crime fighting technology, the AI-based technology. Can you kind of expand on that a little bit?
Well, this is something I'm very excited about. This is something that's being utilized by our state partners already. The Department of Public Safety is being used by the Fusion Center, is being utilized by federal partners. We're only coming in line with law enforcement patterns and trends across the country. It's something that I was absolutely amazed that we were not utilizing. Thanks to the leadership of Chief Watts and his team and our intelligence unit, now we have that technology. We're building out what that technology looks like. And we're going to make sure that we're not invading anybody's privacy. Our goal is not to invade anybody's privacy. We know what their constitutional rights are. But like I explained to some of our partners and the community, if you're walking down Capitol Street, broad daylight, and commit a crime, I don't know what your expectation of privacy is, right? We want to identify who you are and want to hold you accountable for your actions. And we're only leveraging AI intelligence. That's the future of law enforcement. That's the future of the world. A lot of major crimes have been solved from New York City to Los Angeles, California, simply by facial recognition. When you go to the airport with your passport, they're not telling you to look in that camera and say cheese for, another reason. It's because of AI to identify who you are. So we're just coming in line with most law enforcement across the country. And I'm proud to say that we're one of the premier municipal law enforcement agencies in this country. And we're going to be a trendsetter as we move forward as well.
And so where would that technology be used? Would it be connected to the street light cameras, or how would it be connected?
Well, when you talk about AI, if I get a good photo of you, a good picture of you, whether it's from our blue light surveillance cameras, whether it's from our dash cameras, whether it's from our body cameras, or whether it's from your home video system, your surveillance system, we just need that photo of you to run it through that software to get those indicators. Now, the key is it has to be a good photo. It can't be some blurry, fuzzy image. A good photo, then we use that as one of the tools in our toolbox to point us in the right direction. Now, I've been with JPD now. This is my 30th year. 30th year. I started back in 1995. And when I was a detective in the early 2000s, we had an old mugshot book. We're flipping pages in the book, seeing if this person looks like this person. We don't have to do that now. We'll get a result within seconds, within minutes of who this person is. That's the way of the world now. We're just simply coming in line with the future of law enforcement. All right. Thank y'all so much. And we'll send a press release out to follow up on this. And again, keep us uplifted in prayer. Okay. Thank you.
Wait, is that going to come today or?
It'll be today. It'll be shortly.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. So what you just saw there was a press conference that was held by Chief Joseph Wade of the Jackson Police Department. And the main purpose of the press conference was to have a transparency with the citizens of Jackson. So what he told us was at 10:20 last night, or around 10:20 last night, there was a motor vehicle accident that involved multiple vehicles. There was an officer that was involved in this accident. He was off duty, not in uniform, and he was in his personal vehicle. So what happened that caused this crash was apparently the person driving or in one of the vehicles and the officer had some type of relationship. They were calling this a domestic violence type of situation. So going down the road, the officer either sideswiped, rammed, there was some sort of collision with the vehicle that the young lady was driving, and it caused her to wreck, and there were injuries to her, which caused her to have to go to the hospital. She stayed overnight. She has since been released. There were other people that were in the vehicle as well, and there were injuries to them, but they did not have to go to the hospital, thankfully. So the officer that was named in this situation, his name is Jaguar Winder, and he has been charged with a domestic assault. He has been arrested and questioned. And Chief Wade also told us that last night, when the accident happened, he had left the scene. So he could be facing additional charges for leaving the scene of the accident. This is an ongoing investigation. He also let us know that he's not aware of there being any prior issues with this particular officer. He has been with the Jackson Police Department for less than a year. He will be placed on administrative leave after he is released from jail, and there will be a press conference with more information, as well as the mugshot of the officer released here in just a little bit. And of course, as soon as we get that into us, we will push that out to you. So make sure you have our app downloaded so you can get that notification. But Chief Wade wanted to make sure that the public knew that nobody is above the law, not even a police officer, not even a Jackson police officer. They don't take their job lightly. Even when they're off duty, they do not take their job lightly, do not take their responsibility to the community lightly, and they're not above the law. And so even as a police officer, if you break the law, you will face the consequences of breaking that law. So again, a motor vehicle accident happened last night. It was a domestic situation. There was a off-duty officer who, not in his uniform, in his personal vehicle, got into an altercation with another female who we're told they had some type of relationship. It wasn't stated or made clear whether or not it was a romantic relationship, a friendship, whatever it was, but there was some type of relationship between the two of them. They were on the road when the off-duty officer either sideswiped, rammed, or caused a collision with the vehicle that the woman was in, the woman and additional parties was in. The woman was injured and taken to the hospital. It was required for her to stay overnight for observation for her injuries, but she has since been released. The officer's name, again, is Jaguar or Jaeger Winder. He didn't have the exact spelling of the name. So if I'm saying it wrong, we will make sure we have it correct when the press release comes out. But he has been charged with a domestic assault. He was not at the scene of the accident when officers arrived, so he could be facing additional charges. He was arrested last night, taken in and questioned. and he is still behind bars from what I can understand. He will be placed on administrative leave after he is released from the jail, and he has been with the Jackson Police Department for less than a year. So that is the information that the chief wanted to pass along to us, or pass along to you, because he believes very important to let the citizens of Jackson know that no one is above the law, not even the police officers there, and that if they do wrong, they will face the consequences of doing wrong. And he just wanted to be, as he said, he wanted to have authenticity. He wanted to be authentic and transparent with the citizens of Jackson. And so that's why he was announcing this today. We will send out the press release to you as soon as we get it. Again, make sure you download our app at WLBT news app. You get those notifications of breaking news. And we will be back at 1 o'clock for WLBT Plus. Thank you guys so much for watching.